Hello everybody and welcome to Behind the Camera Quick Cuts, a side series of Behind the Camera with Andy Games, where I focus more on the streamers, the content creators, celebrating their wins and who they are as creators. Today my guest is BaldyNG95. Baldy, how are we doing, sir? Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, man, doing good, and it's my absolute pleasure having you on. So yeah, let's just get straight into it, man. So take us back then to your what's your gaming history like and how you got into streaming.
God, gaming history like Game Boy Color, Pokemon Yellow. Like I think the person that got me into it was my uncle. He was like a massive Pokemon Game Boy fan, and then it just like everyone spiraled. PlayStation 2, all the wrestling games and like FIFA's, and it's just never stopped. So I don't think it will ever stop. I'll be honest.
No, just right. Why should it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in terms of the streaming, it was just it was on a whim. None of it was planned. I've got a good friend that was a streamer. Well, is a streamer, and we were talking one day about the wonders it did for her life. Like she didn't really have any social life, and it completely changed it. And I was in a very similar position. I'd sort of, became a bit of a recluse and didn't really speak to anyone. One day I just thought, I'm going to set up a Twitch and set it up, and it's the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
It's completely changed my life in like 3 months.
That's incredible. Like, especially over such a short period of time. Like, that's what I love about like when, people start up and they kind of start up on a whim like yourself, because I think you kind of really reap the benefits of it, like more so than when people plan it, because you're kind of going in and thinking, you know what, let's see how this goes. It'll be a bit of fun. And then, when you start to get like your regular viewers and, start building up a little bit of a community, and it's like, oh my God, like people want to tune in and watch me play video games. Like, oh my God, this is so cool.
It's been a very surreal experience because, I set this up just for myself. I fully went in with the expectation of like streaming to myself for the next 10 years with maybe someone popping in every now and then saying hello. And now we're here like 3 months later, and I'm like, not only are people coming back to watch me, like this subbing, so I'm like, people are actually like paying to skip ads to see this face. And that just seems bizarre to me.
It is just one of those things, isn't it, where it's like, you kind of have to take a moment to step back and be like, whoa, this is actually happening. And it's quite interesting because I talk a lot about the definition of success, and like I personally believe success comes from within. And like, would you say like, with 3 months in that you feel like you are succeeding, especially given your situation personally before going into streaming?
Oh, 100%. It's the highlight, like everything. Even when I'm not streaming, it's given me like a goal and purpose that I didn't have. Before it was just like wake up, drone through the day, go to bed, do the same again. Whereas now it's like, even when I'm not streaming, I'm doing something for the stream.
Yeah.
Or I'm making videos, and it's like, I have one of those surreal moments like every time I go live and people join and people follow, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Why me? I don't get it. And like, none of like, in terms of it being like an internal thing, I could never make a penny from this and I would still be happy. I like it. It doesn't matter to me. It's, who wouldn't love that?
Yeah.
But it's not like the be all and end all for me.
Yeah, that's it, because when you break it down, like you're doing something that you have done for the longest time anyway, and that's just play video games, except the difference is you've got a virtual audience, you've got people watching, you've got people engaging with you. It's actually quite interesting because the Chunky Geek, the last guest I had on Quick Cuts, he said like in his perspective, he plays Mario Kart with a lot with people. It's like no different than back in the day sitting on your sofa playing it with your mates on a Friday night. Like it's the same idea. And like when you're streaming you're like, I mean, obviously there's a difference like in terms of you're alone in your room, but you're still talking to people. You're still kind of having these like real life connections in their own way, and I think like it's so fulfilling in terms of just mental clarity.
Yeah, it really. I mean, they're not like I do. Obviously, the viewers are there, but quite a lot of them have become like regulars, and then like they are really nice, genuine people. Like
Mm.
the conversations we have are great. I play games with a few of them every now and then, and it's really nice. It's been very surreal, but like fulfilling.
Hmm. Yeah, of course. So you could probably class yourself as a variety streamer. You're playing something different like quite a
Yeah,
lot. Like on a day-to-day basis, how do you decide what it is you want to play on that particular day?
that was the struggle in the beginning because I've always been a very backwards and forwards gamer. Like I could play one game for like half an hour, and then I'm swapping and swapping and swapping, and that was sort of the only thing that I did have to reconsider. Like, I'm not going to change myself, and I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not on
Hmm.
lives and streams. But I thought there really should be some sort of schedule. Just it make no one wants to enjoy me watching a game, and then 20 minutes into enjoying it, me go, okay, we're just going to throw that to the side now. So I'm a variety streamer, but I'm very much based around like story rich games.
Yeah.
So, like at the minute, I'm playing through the whole Spider-Man series, and then when I get close to the end of the game, I'll just let everyone vote. I'll say, here's 3 games. So then at least it's something I am going to enjoy.
Yeah.
And then, whichever one of these 3 games gets the most votes, we'll play.
Yeah, of course. And that's a good way to do it because, like, let's say you've got 3 in your mind that you're happy to play next, regardless of what, then if you do it like that, then the other 2 are kind of like, well, I can just do these. Might not necessarily need to put the next ones to a vote. It's just I could do this one next. I could do this. And
Yeah.
then I think that's the good thing about variety is you get to play one thing start to finish and then the next one. And there's that kind of it stops that kind of go in between. And I think when it comes to variety, that's one of the hardest things to nail down is that level of consistency because how many streamers have like their niche where they play like one game, like
Yeah.
speedrunners, for example, that would have been my background as a streamer. Um, where they're just doing that one thing where
Yeah.
then otherwise it's sort of, if you're doing variety, you kind of have to stick to it, but only for a short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first started, I was playing a lot of, like things like Fortnite and stuff, and it's great, but I could never be someone that just jumps on a stream every day, plays hours of Fortnite, goes off, does the same again. Like, it started to drive me mad. It really did, and I feel like putting, giving the people who watch the choice of game is like because to me one of the big things is the stream's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about everyone else. So why should they not have a say in what happens on the stream?
Yeah, 100%. Like there is that sort of give and take that there needs to be between streamer and viewer because as much as you as a streamer, you want to keep like you want to play what you want to play, because that's
Yeah,
what it comes down to is like but then at the same time there needs to be that kind of give and take with your viewers where it's like okay, what do you guys want to see? Cuz sometimes like when it comes to variety, that's when you kind of really see like your community's sort of deeper interests outside of what they're used to seeing you play. And it's a case of like, oh, I used to play this game as a kid. I really love to see this sort of thing. And if it's, viable, then it's always going to be an option.
yeah. I figured that's why I thought if I give the people options, at least it's a win-win because you do see streamers where they'll play a game chosen by the viewers or whatever, and you can see the life visibly drain out of them because it's like they don't want to be there playing that game. Like if you're playing things you don't enjoy, I don't. There's no point in streaming it, like because people viewing can tell when someone is having a good time or a bad time, and
Hmm.
you can't have a bad time and expect everyone to come in and have a good time. It doesn't work
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly.
So
The viewers are always going to see through absolutely everything. They're always going to see
yeah,
through everything. They're going to know when it's, well, yeah, like you say, they're going to know when you're having a good time versus when you're not. So what, in terms of the games that you play, what sort of would you play more modern things, like more modern console slash PC gaming, or would you kind of like dip into a bit of everything from all kinds of eras of, especially from with what you grew up playing?
I'll be honest. I do. My next goal is to get some of the older consoles to
Mm-hmm.
play some of the classics. You know, like I'm sure. I mean, I know it is a massive favorite. Things like Lord of the Rings: Return of the King on the PlayStation 2.
What a
You
game.
know, like Simpsons Hit and Run. Even like Simpsons skateboarding was great. And
Mm.
I'm a massive wrestling fan, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
So like all the old WWE games, like even back into like the late 90s, I think are great. Um, Mainly modern games. That's simply just because it's all I have access to at the minute. But
Yeah.
anything with a story, I am there. Whether it be, you know, like Spider Man's, Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, when Ghost of Yote comes out, I've been roped into a 24-hour stream somehow. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see.
I think the real question is, would you be able to finish it in the 24-hour
Well, that's the
stream?
thing. I'm 29. I'm an old man.
I feel that.
I can't remember the last time I did an all night, let alone a 24-hour stream. So
Oh,
I'm gonna give
100%.
it everything. I'm gonna get a crate of Red Bull in, and I'm just gonna stay on as long as possible.
Mm. And that's
But
totally fair. That's all you can do. Like I think that it's one of those things where the sound of it is like kind of a little bit daunting, but
mm,
and it can only go one of two ways. It can either be like, do you know what, it's not as bad as I thought, or it can be the longest 24 hours of your life.
yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do. I see other people do them, and I want to at least experience it once. If it's not for me, I don't have to do it again. But it'd be nice to try.
Yeah. Oh, of
So
course.
why
And
not?
I think as well, when you're like only so many months into streaming, it is one of those things where you want to give a lot of different things a go just to
Mm.
see if you can do it, how it helps your channel, and like if it's even worth it sometimes. Like I think it's always good to kind of experiment with these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of WWE, then obviously you've got the belts behind you, which is a
Hmm.
very you got a very nice collection. I'm a big fan of the collection. You've got like the
Thank you.
heavyweight title, the old WWF championship, and then the old United States.
Yeah.
And was wrestling something that you grew up on, or is it one of those things where you liked it as a kid and like a lot of people just got back into it like as an adult?
No. Wrestling came about from probably the age of like 3,
Oh
and
wow.
just never left.
Mm.
Um, my dad was always a fan of it, so that's where he started. He'd be watching like WCW,
Yeah.
and then I somehow slowly just sort of took to it, and then like every Christmas since then, it was just like a living room full of wrestling toys and live shows and I made him buy one of the old video players where you could record, so I could record all the pay-per-views and then to this day it's like watching every event. I'm doing quizzes on it every day, and it's
Brilliant.
just and now it's passed on to my son, and it's. I don't think the wrestling will ever go away. I'll
Oh,
be honest.
that's good. That's good. And like, do you like ever incorporate that like into your streams or your content in general as well?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, even like the sound alerts on a TikTok, it's like the Undertaker's gone and Roman Reigns screaming "Acknowledge me,"
Yeah.
and like it's and yeah, we've had a few streams where I've been playing the wrestling game, and we've done some quizzes, and it's even gone as far. It was very popular, so I thought I've made a specific TikTok for the wrestling,
Oh,
and
brilliant.
do lives on that and stuff. It's
Mm.
it's been very good to share an interest.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think that's one of the things that's really good about putting it out there online. It's like, because before you ever hit record, whether it be on a video or on a live, there's always this kind of nervousness where you're like, you don't know how people are gonna take it, but at the same time, you're sharing your interests with people who are probably like-minded, who are also in the same boat, and they're just like kind of looking for that specific content that you're going to put out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was daunting because, like, there is this misconception that, like, wrestling is for kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
And so it was always like, it wasn't something I ever really spoke about or anything until someone spoke to me about it. And then I had the belts lying around and I sort of needed something as a background. And I put them up. And then, all of a sudden, people are coming in the stream constantly like, oh my God, they're great. And, who's your favorite wrestler and this and that. And it's like, it all of a sudden snowballed into like, oh, I should probably make an account dedicated to this because there's a lot of interest. And yeah, it's been really nice.
Yeah, like I think like everything that you've done with that like is probably one of the smarter things, even like if it's just inadvertently, because having them up, that makes a good background, and like you say, it's good for engaging people coming in and being like, and I kind of feel like wrestling right now, I think it's like bigger now than what it was a few years ago, especially just with like Netflix and shorts and everything like that. Like it is just kind of, and I mean the product is like, it has its flaws, but it's still pretty good.
It's definitely the most sort of mainstream it's ever been. Like that's definitely true. But yeah, I mean, I'll be like, all this stuff is a happy accident. None of this is ever planned. I'm not smart enough to ever plan any of this art. Streaming was a happy accident. Wrestling, TikToks was I'm just very fortunate, I guess. For sure. I've had enough bad luck. They probably thought I was due some good luck.
Oh, for sure, man. Honestly, and like it is good that you find yourself in that position as well. So then, what I want to ask you based on that is, what was your all-time WWE game, going from 2K25 all the way back to like Raw is War or even WCW Nitro, whatever it may be?
Yeah, see, it wasn't the best game, but I mean, it's such a hard question. I'd say my top three in no order are Nitro for sure, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain,
yeah,
and not a lot of people enjoyed it, but the TNA Impact game, I absolutely loved. I thought it was great.
Yeah, that's not one I've ever played. That was that PS2 as well?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very good game. A lot of people, TNA wasn't really mainstream back then.
Yeah. Like TNA was one of those things where when it revived a few years ago, I think that's when people started to really appreciate what the product was 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, because obviously the likes of AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Sting, Hogan, Flair, like I kind of feel like it, while it was there, WWE was always the major player, but then now it's kind of like with the partnership, it's like kind of people are really kind of learning more about the history and be like, oh my God, this was actually great. And obviously the Dudleys and Hardys as well, just to throw in.
I watched it at its peak in like the 2000s, and I'll be honest, a lot of people disagree. I'd say it was better than WWE. Yeah. It was the best wrestling out there. And interesting fact, a lot of people don't realise, Kurt Angle's technically a TNA wrestler. He spent more time in TNA than he actually did in WWE.
And is that over both runs that he did in WWE? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's actually spent more time in TNA than WWE. And a lot of people don't know it. And it's crazy.
There you go. There's your fact of the day. That's fantastic.
There's your nerdy fact of the day.
Yeah. So just before we round off then, so let's say you want to look ahead for even the next 3 months to 6 months or end of the year, whatever it may be. What is it that you are looking to do and develop with your stream? Like, how do you see it going or want it to go?
Ooh.
That's a
I
bit of a
mean,
loaded question, I know, but
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. It's always a tough question because, as I say, I've, if anything, if I've learned anything over the past 3 months of streaming, it's just throw your expectations out the window. Because I expect, like I say, I expected to stream to myself for the next 10 years, and now all of a sudden I'm like the other day I hit 500 followers, and I had like 40 people in a wrestling live. So I'm kind of like, for me, I guess I think my only goal would just be, if someone comes in and it makes the day, if it makes the day a bit better, and that's it. I'm happy.
oh
I
yeah.
don't. I'm not interested in any monetary goals or anything. I do this because I enjoy it. It's made my life a lot better. So if I can make someone else's day better, why not?
You know what? And that is, what more reason could you want? Because that's always how it starts for people, is they see it, it's made their day better, and it's a nice way to just give back in
Yeah.
terms of that. And what more could you want? Baldy, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for your
very much.
time. It has been, so I'll say it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Make sure you are following BaldyNG95 on TikTok, and is it the same on Twitch as well?
It's the same everywhere. Yes.
Same everywhere as well. So TikTok, Twitch, everywhere. Make sure you are following. I've been Andy Games. This has been Behind the Camera Quick Cuts. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back again with another episode soon. Peace.